Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never role-played before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Great Wizard Bukake, your host. The parade went well and paint night has begun. Reginald impressed the crowds with military precision. Juniper gained some control over her inner wolf, and Quinny made plans to stop the assassination of the Warlock Knight. Can they keep the evening going off without a hitch, all while preventing a murder? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Time is not your friend, Quinny Brown Barrow.
No.
You have a wonderful, precise watch in your pocket, but unfortunately all it really tells you is how many disasters are going to occur, how quickly. So having uncovered a plot to assassinate the Felthane of Vinton Charlemagne, the ambassador from Vassar, you are now on a race against the clock to stop a bunch of your new best friends, or should I say Benji's new best friends, from trying to assassinate her to earn favor with Longadon Geese and the Queen of Damara.
Yes. Yeah.
You and Reginald have decided that the best way to go about this is, or you and Butthole, yes, have decided the best way to go about this is to put a team of the as yet untested hammerers on the main floor, along with Reginald, and for you and Vinton to act as bait on the top floors of the embassy in order to draw the conspirators in and attempt to arrest them at the scene. The challenge is you haven't talked to either Vinton or Reginald about this. Meanwhile, the parade is over. A party has broken out in the streets. Paint night is well underway. And Balthazar Durian, the war wizard who fucking loves magic missiles, is getting his fingies all limber for a hell of a show. So against the backdrop of revels and celebration and the birth of a new Asgard from the ashes of the old Aka, you all have some business ahead of you. So, Quinny, what's your first protocol in this?
Reginald, I guess, because after I talk to him, while I talk to Vinton, he has to go get people together and get them over there. So, yeah.
He's also like 6 feet from you, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yes, there's that also.
Great.
Yeah. So after hearing the call from the king, how this needs to play out, I'm like, okay, it's my job to make sure that happens. Go up to Reginald and say, hey, can we talk in private again, Reginald?
Oh, yeah, sure. And Butthole goes over, hey, everybody, I'm so glad to be here. This is a great moment for the whole kingdom, isn't it? And you just watch them trade. So there's just like a different but similar looking person taking charge, and Reginald comes
We're just
over.
happy to be talking to the Tingly Boys.
Perfect. All right. So what do you need?
All right. So word from the king is basically we are going to arrest them, catching them in the act because I don't have any physical evidence. So that's...
Okay, so the moment the knife goes in, bam, arrested.
No, how about the moment they sneak into her home?
That makes a lot more sense.
That's good for you?
Yeah,
you can
that's
make
great.
that work as the guy who will be arresting them?
Sure, that sounds like an ambush point to me.
Okay, so it is first floor of her home.
Okay.
Well, her apartment or whatever here is not her home, I guess, but the house that she's using. First floor, you and some hammers. That's where you're going to be.
Great. We'll put a squad in the house on the first floor, and we'll put a squad... I'm going to get a couple of guys. Yeah, this will work.
Yeah, okay. I am going to try and get Vinton to be bait on like one of the upper floors.
Great.
And I am going to bring these guys to the house.
Super. Okay, so I'll be inside with some hammers, and we'll arrest them.
Yeah.
We'll leave hammers hiding across the street out front in case they run, and we'll leave hammers out back. We're going to put those squads. It's going to be a Visma squad and a Crandon squad because we know they're not going to fuck around. Then
Okay.
we get a nice, clean arrest.
Great. Okay. Super. I have to go.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And I'm running to look for Vinton.
And in the opposite direction, Reginald is also running. It's just two people with one cape flowing behind Reginald.
Mine's still in my bag. Yeah.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, behind the easel, Mrs. Paisley, you are in the process of painting a shield. Can I get probably a sleight of hand check, I think, from you?
So I have, so I get double proficiency because I'm Mrs. Paisley
Oh, okay.
in using my forger's kit, which is just like inks.
Yeah.
So it's whatever skill he chooses plus double your proficiency because you're using the tools, right?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a bad roll. Wait, but I have an inspiration for Mrs. Paisley.
You do.
Okay, that's better. 19.
Cool. What's that first roll?
It's a 2.
Oh, damn. Good inspiration use.
2 plus some stuff, but not much stuff.
All right, let's see how the crowd is doing. Oh, they are not doing great. Oh, those guys are doing all right. Okay. So explain to me how Mrs. Paisley is painting this shield. Like you mentioned that she's really taking her time in the last episode and that she's being very meticulous about it. Is it just like a stark shield on like an empty canvas, or like what are we seeing?
No, she's gonna do like to start it off. She's gonna do like a background, so it's gonna be like the night sky of Akka. That's like very clear because it's desert, with a bunch of like stars and shit, and then like a desert ground, and there's gonna be like a flaming tower, kind of in the back on the left, and then just kind of off center to the right is going to be like behind kind of a yellowish bright glow is going to be kind of the shield just like hovering in the air.
Cool. So the crowd is kind of following along, and because I rolled 3 times, we'll say that's kind of for the 3 phases. So night sky, not great night skies. Are you taking any time to inspect, or are you just kind of going to do the painting first?
No. So she's because she's able to do it very quickly. She'll kind of like she's going to do that first layer, of the scenery, and then she's going to walk around and just like basically tell people, like, this is a paint night, dears. Take your time, or, just slop a bunch of paint on. Or forget the brushes, use your fingers.
So
there's no wrong way to do it.
You are making your way through. I love that. We're going to roll to see how well that goes over. You come up and Pitch, the hobgoblin that you met on your previous adventure, is really struggling with the night sky. He's just like, I put a little bit of black, we put a little bit of blue, but you said I should put white. Nah, but I'm going to put yellow. Well, sounds like we've got a little bit of a problem going on here, don't we? And then he does like a full like jaw, like Jim Carrey jaw switch, and then turns his head and says, listen, Mrs. Paisley, maybe you can solve something for us here. I'm arguing with myself about whether or not to use white or yellow for the stars. Can you help us out?
Why not both?
And like just a look of, I was going to make it roll, but that's actually a pretty good solution. Just, a little bit of permission, a little bit of inspiration. I think that's a pretty good idea. We're going to get right on that. And just like licks both fingers, sticks them in the paint, and just starts dabbing stars with thumbs.
Just remember, your idea is the best idea. It's paint night.
And Pitch, dealing with kind of like 2 distinct personalities, is like not as easy a solution for me or me. But that's okay, because we got yellow and white now. It's paint night, and just starts like dabbing away at the stars. And then like if the camera pans over, there's just like a bunch of giant burly soldier types just kind of like looking over, being like, oh, okay, and like dipping gauntleted thumbs into paint, and kind of going. And sure enough, like throughout the crowd, it starts to spread that people are just like using their thumbs and smearing paint. There's still like, I was going to say Vital Statistics was there too, just doing like whatever the barbarian version is, but he's busy guarding all the traitor captains, so he's not here.
Yeah, he's the warden of our prison.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like we cut to the prison, and he's just sitting there being like, it's different being the scion of a god. Kind of quiet, actually. Hey, Dorit. Yeah? Shut up. Just crosses his arms.
When we review this prison system, there are going to be notes.
No further orders were given other than watch them. All right, so Paint Night continues along as you kind of wheel between the rows, checking on people, and sure enough, things seem to be going well. Before you come back up to the stage, old Patty Two Eyes catches up to you and just says, okay, Mrs. Paisley, I owe you a big apology.
Why, dear?
This is going really well. I think people like this.
Yes, I think people enjoy freedom to express themselves.
Yeah, so I'm learning. I mean, normally I keep my opinions pretty close to the chest, but it seems like people are really liking this. I hope they're still okay with it when it gets more precise.
When what gets more precise?
Oh, just right now, they're just slopping a lot of paint on there, making a big old sloppy campus. But canvas, I mean, campus would be a whole school situation, which we're also working on. But like when they have to draw the shield, they might get upset because it's real precise.
Well, I think it will be fine. We'll see.
I believe you now because so far things go well. It's paint night. And then she just goes and finds a canvas and continues to work.
It is paint night.
Meanwhile, Quinny, you are booking it to try and find Vinton Charlemagne, who left, has disappeared from the grouping. Where would you go to try and find her, or do you want to roll a check to see if you can pick up her trail?
My assumption would be that she's gone to her place, because I think I said you want to go back to your place during the fireworks to blow off some steam. And she said yes.
I guess, yes. I was imagining that was later, but yes, fireworks are about to start. So, yep.
So I would head there.
Yep.
Especially if Reginald will be showing up at some point with guards and stuff like that. Like, if he got there before I did, it would be a horrifying diplomatic event. So, yeah, I got to get over there quick as I can.
Okay.
So I think it's time to bust out one of my 2 spell slots.
Look, man, I gave you a level in the hopes you would get an extra one.
It just isn't like that for warlocks. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Hashtag warlock life.
I did pick up a new spell though when you gave me that level.
Hey, all right, okay.
So I'm going to cast Fly on myself.
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
He sprang, he strode, and now you will believe a halfling can fly. Okay. How does that happen for Quinny? What is it like? What does this look like?
I think it's just a little bit of running, and then a little bit of like just parkour to like get up higher and higher and higher, and then he basically so it's like jumping off of a cart and then onto a balcony and off of a balcony
like
onto a
style?
roof, and then from the roof, the edge of the roof, he just jumps and he keeps going, and because he has like his long coat of farts and stuff like that, the figure he cuts. Basically, not on purpose. It's just the way he's dressed and the way he flies. He looks like Neo, just flying. It's a guy in a trench coat flying through the sky, so he looks like Neo.
Yeah, and it's just like horns being like, whoa, 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 whoa. Amazing. So with that, Quinny takes off in the night. I've got very much the like Batman Year 2 like silhouette, or like the Dark Knight Returns kind of against the moon cape flying thing in my head. That's awesome. All right, so fucking cool. All right, so off Quinny goes. Reginald, you have to find Captain Vismuth and get the Hammerers together. You got to get Gorkrak's lumberjacks over there.
Yeah, he hasn't had to summon them. Luckily, he'd know where Vismuth was because he was pulled away from where Vismuth was a minute ago. So it's like Vismuth and Crendon are both theoretically here, and then his plan is like send them to find more Hammerers. Were the Hammerers around at this event? Are they anywhere?
I don't feel like they've been officially like the order to do it happened, I think, this morning.
Yeah, so
like or yesterday maybe. It's still early days.
Realistically, he knows this is horrific timing, and there's only so much he can do. So it's just like find Vismuth and be like Vismuth, and like literally just down the barrel of the orders, which is like I need 3 squads of Hammerers or other people you trust in the military to not kill everyone, and we're going to have to go stop a diplomatic incident. There's going to be an arrest. I need a squad here with you, a squad here with Crendon. Blah 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 blah. Go, and just send Vismuth to also find him a squad because he's like get to Vismuth, get to Crendon. They can bring fucking whoever they trust. He needs to get there now because odds of this running late and being a real problem are fast, and he's a big guy. He'll do what he needs to do.
All right. Can you roll me I think it's probably persuasion. This is very much coming in as like your leadership.
Okay.
How quickly and ably he's able to convey these things.
Which is perfect because he's still super handsome. He is not very smart. Okay. He needs the help. That is a 14 on persuasion.
14? Okay, yep. Vismuth says, of course, General, we will get as many people together as we can. We have not been able to fully institute the Hammerer system because of all of this, but we can certainly get trustworthy people to follow your orders. I will pull some of my best. She turns to Crendon. She says, you, strange man, I need you to go and find the following people. She like writes down name. She's like, they look like this, and this. Go get them. Sir, we will meet you at the Visayan embassy. I like this more than dancing. And then she like runs off.
Farthole's like, so if someone sneezes in my mouth, then I join the bite force. And Crendon's gone. And he's like, what are you doing, big man? I might need a healer. And he's just going to pick up Farthole with both hands and just start booking it towards the official embassy building.
All right. So you run off with Farthole in hand. The fireworks display is set to start any minute. Bucky, Longadon Geese is not next to you in your seat.
I don't know how much that would bother Bucky
That's fine.
insofar as he saved the seat.
He met the requirements of the promise.
Yeah.
Yep, fair enough. Okay, so Bucky, as you watch, there's celebrations going on. I think I was gonna say Ginny might come and sit with you, but she wouldn't. She'd be in the tower. I feel like I assume everyone you would want safe butthole would be in the tower. Would the entire royal house be out for this?
It'd be depending on what people do. This is supposed to be a peaceful ceremony. There was no sign of threat. So Butthole would be, if they want to come outside, they're with the kind of like central envoys where they're all within sight of Butthole.
Great.
Where like, if Ginny wants to be there, sure, but Ginny's on the platform.
Sure.
If like people want to come out,
Yeah, Seamus wouldn't be because he's busy with the portal. Would Declan and Honor System have come for this?
If Seamus didn't come for this, fuck no. They would just probably keeping an eye on it through a window. Like if shit goes bad, they can come out. But I don't think this would be a priority for them.
No.
Nah.
Cool.
You can watch fireworks from inside; and they're just as good.
Yeah. They're gonna watch it at eye level. Okay, great. So Ginny just kind of like is sitting behind you, Bucky, and she just kind of leans down. She's like, "I can't believe they pulled this off."
What do you mean, Miss Ginny?
Well, it's just this. I mean, this place was real murdery. It sounds like the place you came from, honestly, when you were telling me about it. Like, it sounds kind of like it could have been a real bad scene. But it just everyone seems like they're having a good time and they're listening to Uncle Butthole and your dad, my dad.
You're about to blow Bucky's mind.
Yeah. Get your swords. It's just quite something, don't you think?
I feel two different ways about it. The first way is I completely agree with you. It's so remarkable that this place is apparently turned around from how dangerous and scary it was only just a few days ago. But at the same time, this is King Butthole and Juniper and Mr. Quinny, and this is what they do.
Yeah, I guess this is what they do. This is what it means to do this.
Why wouldn't it be any different here?
They are very, very good at this. Just like looks out across everything they've done in 2 days. It's like, this is what they can do in 2 days. Okay, yeah.
That's why they asked us to help them. Is everything okay, Ginny?
Bucky.
Yeah.
You know how like Uncle Butthole and Aunt Juniper and Mr. My Dad all kind of have each other's backs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have that so much. I do a lot of stuff on my own and I'm pretty good at it. But like, if I had to do something like what they have to do, can I count on you to help?
Yeah.
Like you could kind of be the Bucky to my Butthole, I guess.
Well, I can be your Bucky to your Ginny.
I would prefer that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try my very, very hardest.
Cool. Thanks.
Do you need help with anything right now?
Yeah, I think you already did. And hey, look, the fireworks are starting.
Oh.
And just immediately like a bunch of magic. You just hear like, behold, magic missiles! And he just like puts his hands up to the sky. This is a pull for only Ryan. But on the cover of the original copy of Heir to the Empire, Jorah Saboth just has his fingies up in the air and laser lines coming out of them. It makes no fucking sense.
0 sense.
But that is what this looks like.
And it makes sense
like,
now.
Boom.
You've retroactively made sense of the Star Wars books.
So just magic missiles out of his fingers. And of course,
which Jorus?
the one at the bottom of the book. So like an old monk.
Okay, now you can continue
One
with the
extra
moment we interrupted for a second time. You want to try to paint us a picture again?
Nope. Some dude does a thing. Look it up. Rules. From now on, we'll just be using virtual tabletop, and you can imagine your own pictures. The magic missiles soar up into the air, and I'm going to see how majestic they are. And it literally, like, magic missile are kind of like small darts of magical energy. They are not exploding. They don't leave like tracer trails or anything. So you just see like little magic sparks fly off this man's fingers. And then he just does it again, and he's doing like full Job in Arrested Development, like moving around, moving across the stage, throwing them in different directions, and it's really not that impressive. But he's having a great time.
And that's when Butthole just like furiously waves to the arrows, like, let's get to the next bit. This part's tanking.
Mrs. Paisley's plan for that blank spot at the right side is just like, oh, it was going to be the fireworks, but you know what? Let's everyone paint the fireworks you wanted to see.
And
Throwing us under the bus too early, Butthole says to himself.
You just see a wizard pull little goggles down. And just reach down like Ryu style and just yells, "Acid arrow, go!" and fires an acid arrow into the sky. And that is majestic and spooky. It just leaves a trail of things. And then we look over and we see the two folks from the crowd who know chemistry, whose names, though you never asked, are Heisey Babel and Jesse. Heisey Babel's like, "Do it." And Jesse's like, "Yeah, science, sir." And he smashes a vial of sort of a chemical substance onto a sling that Heisey Babel's swinging around. And then he tosses that up into the acid arrow, and it turns the whole thing into a brilliant blue and like a sort of large blast. And then they get shoved out of the way as Serafina Bellwinter steps forward and says, "Out of the way, peasants. It's time for true artistry." And she draws her arrow. And Ryan, forgive me, she was going to shoot an arrow
into the other arrow.
Into the arrow, yeah.
That was her claim. It was going to be to turn it blue, but frankly, this is better.
Yeah. So she raises her arrow and says, "Hey, wait a second, that blue thing was mine." And then she looses, and the arrow just like flies and pings off the side of the building. She goes, "Oh, fuck," and starts drawing more arrows. She says, "Quick, cook more." And Heisey Babel's like, "No." So she's just firing arrows wildly through the acid arrow. They just burn through the arrow.
Okay.
No one can see it. They're not impressive.
Butthole waits for the acid arrow to fall and then just points to Kevin. And he's like, "Do it."
"Oh, this?" And he just throws a hand up, and a fireball explodes in the night sky, and everyone goes, "Ooh, fireball!"
And Butthole triple casts thaumaturgy to give it some different rainbow colors and to make the sound extra cool and spooky. And then, if he can, to make it spell Asgard as it fades away.
I'll allow it.
Nice.
1 point of stress.
Great. I didn't write them down, so I used a point of stress.
Yeah, it's because we haven't used them in a season and a half. Great. So yes, it spells Asgard. Everyone applauds, and Serafina Bellwinter's like, I did that," and everyone around her does not pay any attention or care. So the words Asgard burn across the sky. There's lots of oohs and ahs. But meanwhile, Quinny, you are neoing across town. Can you roll me a perception check?
23.
You hear a flap of wings behind you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you look over your shoulder while flying?
Well, I guess I look ahead to make sure that if I look behind me, I don't careen into a building or anything, and then
good. You've
look
solved my
over
puzzle.
my shoulder. Yeah,
Great. And you see Chompy just like flying along beside you. Very toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, just like tail flat or like tongue flapping out of open mouth, and just kind of soaring along like this is just a pleasant evening.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. No treat for you this time, but I'll get you next time. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Vinton, is that you back there?
Nope, just Chompy. Vincent left on foot. Chompy was up on top of the tower, so it is just you're just having some time with sweet Chompy.
That would be nice, except I'm under tremendous stress.
Yeah, Chompy doesn't know that. Chompy's just flying with his buddy that he claimed with his tongue.
Right. Say, Chompy, I don't know how well we understand each other, but where is Vinton? Can you take me to Vinton?
Oh, and like continues to fly alongside you towards, like you're both going towards the embassy. So
I hope this is right. Okay, this is where I was going to go, and you provided me no new information, so this is what we will keep doing.
If a wyvern could shrug,
like, yeah, I mean,
it drops like a meter, has to fly back up.
Yeah.
And then Chompy just like beats his wings and kind of like pulls his body in and just torpedoes ahead at the building, kind of racing you.
Okay, I will. Yeah, let's go. I need to be fast, so yeah, I'll try to speed up if I can. Yeah.
No, but it's cool.
No, yeah.
It's just like it's in any superhero movie where they're like, oh, now I have to do something to like pull their hand in
Now
and
I'm
just like
really gonna
concentrate.
fly.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could try and lasso the lightning, I guess.
Jeez, yeah.
Unforgivable. All right. So you're flying towards the embassy. Reginald, you need to barrel your way through the crowd. So if I can get an athletics check from you, please.
Sure. That is a 13.
13. All right. There's a lot of you and a lot of crowd. So
And I'm
you
carrying
are
a goblin.
and you are, yeah. Do you have him like, is it a football under your arm kind of thing? Or are you like holding him like a stinky baby?
Stinky baby.
Yeah,
It's Stinky baby in front of him trying to shove his way through the crowd using fart hole as an implement of pushing people aside.
Okay. Well, you rolled badly, but I think he's stinky enough that people would just get out of the way.
Great.
So people will kind of move and you're able to take off. Good. Okay. So both of you, Quinny, you arrive at the estate. Chompy's just a bit ahead of you, perched kind of up top, doing like a silly, like, hey, we're here, kind of thing, not necessarily understanding the full gravity of the situation. And then suddenly Chompy's head kind of tilts and disappears into the building and comes back up with a big piece of meat that was clearly handed up through the ceiling.
Up through the ceiling, like, is he passing through solid matter? Or
No,
is there,
it's
like, a
what
hole?
you saw. It's what you saw Vinton do last time you were here, which is like
Right,
open a
'cause there
trap
was a-
door.
okay,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
toss
okay,
something
sorry.
up. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Cool. I will land on the roof and I will knock a shave and a haircut.
And from downstairs, you just hear, Chompy, what the fuck? Can you even do that? And the little door creaks open, and Vinton is just staring up at you and Chompy, being like, well, aren't you two thick as thieves?
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, can we talk like very quickly?
Yeah, sure. You kind of caught me in the middle of something. And she's like half out of her armor and is having a real, like, as you've seen, she really likes to have kind of a look. So she's like halfway between like, welcome to my boudoir, and halfway between like, I'm wearing scary fucking nightmare armor. And she's like, all right, yeah, you're a little early, but sure, come on in, I guess. Sorry about this.
I'm sorry. There's going to be some shit going down here.
This is the strangest pickup line I've ever heard, but okay. Bold.
Yeah, look, I would love to do this a little later tonight, but first, some unfortunate business is going to take place. There's an attack being planned against you. I know about it, and I have taken steps to basically prevent that from happening.
Oh, good. So you invited them here so we can kill them?
That was one of my thoughts.
See, that's foreplay I can get behind. But what did you plan then?
Well, that, and then it was modified to arresting them. Yeah.
Stupid country. Okay. So let me strap the rest of my armor back on. Don't think. Wait, who's trying to kill us? Those fucking Lord's Alliance guys? Because I am more than happy to grab Chompy and a bunch of Warlock Knights and burn Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter and any of those other fucking towns. Like Winterdeep will probably be more of a Waterdeep will be like a Winterdeep, Waterdeep, whatever.
It's Waterdeep.
Neverwinter.
Sure.
We'll probably have
They're
to
two different places.
siege it, but like we can do that. So like, which of these guys is it?
I don't think it's any of those guys. I've kind of inserted myself, we'll say, into their little plan. So I'm going to lead them here under false pretenses. What I would like for you to do is to just kind of stay up here and do your thing and chill. Reginald Tingler with a couple of the hammers will be down, will be over soon, and they're going to hang out on the first floor to ambush them and arrest them.
Okay.
If there's anything on the first floor that you don't want us to see, you can take care of that. Fully, like, we're in your space. I get it, so I'm giving you the heads up.
And she just like is looking at you with newfound respect of like the 8-level deep like wooing situation going on where it's just like, oh man, and you thought gave me time to hide my secrets? And
Yeah.
she's like, okay, so you think you're gonna have a romantic evening, and then you've invited the alt version of my ex crush, I guess, to come hang out in my basement while I play damsel in distress up here. Well, mysterious enemies you can't tell me about are led here by you to be arrested by him, and then we carry on with our evening.
You absolutely get it.
You are a strange man, Quinny Brownbarrow, but kind of like your style. All right, well, and she's like, I guess She like pulls the dress back up over one arm. She's like, good enough. If you will give me a couple minutes to go move some documents that I don't have, wink, wink, from downstairs, that would be great. I will recork the wine and move it to somewhere where it won't get broken. I stole it from a house nearby. Thought you'd appreciate that, but spoilers. Okay. Happy trying to kill me, I guess. And then she just like grabs you and kisses you and then pushes you off and says, I'll see you soon. And then she rushes downstairs and you just hear a clatter of papers and shit being like, like hiding the like, serial killer murder map off the wall and everything. Like just muttering like diplomatic incident. And Chompy is giving you like a clawed thumbs up. And then also licking his lips, kind of looking out at the street. Like, do I get to eat people now?
Thank you, Chompy. Please stay like up here.
Oh,
I don't know what that means. Goodbye. And I have to and I just go. I take off again.
Chompy gives it like it's a living at the camera. All right, so you have to change into your fucking costume again.
I got something for this too. I'm just gonna burn through my warlock shit though.
Yeah.
All right. I open up bag of holding, and I basically, while flying, throw these items out in front of me, and then they come flying at me. And I basically, like a bunk ass, low budget Iron Man, assemble my look in the air. And when it's completed, I will cast Dimension Door to move instantly 500 feet to the stable.
Incredible.
I hope Quinny and Vinton get like to have some really nice sex later. I think it'd just be nice for.
I don't know how nice it will be.
We'll see how the dice go. Yeah.
I know.
Based on the talks, I think it's gonna be a very specific kind of sex.
I just hope. Well, whatever they think is nice.
Tyler, I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for just that whole transformation sequence is just a delight. As you know, I have a soft spot in my heart for burning spell slots on style and substance, so that's great. Reginald, meanwhile, you are just barreling through the streets. You've got Fart Hole. And
He'll have footballed at the moment we got through the crowd.
So it starts to be a little bit like one of those movies where it's like only one person stands against the gang, and you're like marching down the street, and then people just start materializing out of the. It's very Gangs in New York. Like people just start materializing out of the shadows, and they're all in military garb from the parade, but you can see most of them have modified it a bit. They've like opened it up and are clearly like, if something was formal for formal, they have opened it up for combat. So they're not fully armored, but they are dressed like they're ready for action. They've all kind of grabbed whatever weapons they could get. So you've got a variety, but these squads are going to be small just because of the time it took to get them together. So you got kind of like 4 people per squad, but they are like, I think, you as a general look at these people, it's like, oh yeah, no, these are the 4 I would grab for wet work kind of folk. And you can see that Vismuth is also just like moving kind of off to one side further up. And Crendon has stayed wolfed out. He's put a cloak on like a Ninja Turtle trying to hide himself with a hat. So he's like clearly too big and wolfy and wearing like a reverse Red Riding Hood. But he knows what's up, so he's like, no reason to change.
I dig it. All right, just remember, we need them alive if we can take them alive. None of you need to die to capture them alive, to be clear. If it's them or you, choose them. But otherwise, I really need at least one of these people alive.
So, General, this isn't a wink-wink if it's us or them. This is a...
No, I mean legitimate. I need at least one of them alive. Don't die to make that happen, but I need one of them alive. Please.
Fair.
Yeah.
And then he just turns around and is like, you heard the General. No one dies. Or some of them die, but one of them survives. But either way, don't piss me off. I've been talking to that goblin for a long fucking time tonight. And I don't want to see if any of you turn into wolves if I bite you.
Don't let him sneeze on you either. We didn't lock that one down.
Yeah, that's just basic hygiene. Tearing forward.
I just want to know what happens to the chicken.
Reginald just looks down at him and he's like, you're really worried about sneezing? And below him, Farthole just looks up and goes, achoo! Right into Reginald's mouth. Oh, damn it. All right, let's go inside. This is the worst.
Reginald's going to turn into a goblin now.
Where goblin?
All right, so I need a stealth check from you, please.
I was going to say, he would. Is this to approach the house? Because he would openly do that.
You can openly approach the house. This is like once you get inside,
to stow everybody away.
Are you going to be just like a giant man in armor behind a sheet, being like, I pulled this curtain over me and my feet are sticking out, or can you find good places to hide?
Yeah, we'll find out about that. We're really playing to his.
You can have advantage because they aren't here yet. So
Okay, that's good. That'll help.
Chompy?
All right. With my no modifier whatsoever. Oh, no. I rolled twice, but advantage only balances out the disadvantage because he's in plate, so we have to go with the first roll. So it's 5.
You get in there and you look around, and there is nothing that is big enough for you to hide behind. Everything is like Victorian antique style chairs, and they're all very small and vaguely uncomfortable looking.
He's just going to go, like, stand next to the door and be like, well, if they open the door, it's a crime. God. That's his plan, is like, door opens, arrest.
And honestly, like, you just kind of, like, look to the 4 hammerers who are with you, and they all just kind of look to each other, and there's just like I mean, he's right. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, that's what I heard. And then they like nod to you, and another one goes sits to the other side of the door. One of them just goes and awkwardly like Clone High style, almost like horizontally, just goes from vertical to like immediate horizontal, just whoop behind a chair, and another one just like walks up the stairs, and it's just like I'll jump.
Farthole is just going to stand between Reginald's legs because he's tiny enough that he's got his shield up that's the size of him, and he just tucks down into his breastplate, and he's ready.
Farthole with a giant shield is giving me strong like young Link vibes from like the Zelda games, where it's just like all shield, no Link, so just like massive
Yeah,
shields.
because he's just a human-sized breastplate that he can pull into like a turtle, and a shield he's leaned
I
against
forgot
it.
about the breastplate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't think you ever described it, but since he's become your religious leader here.
Yeah, the high priest.
High priest. Yeah, I just imagine him with a great big bishop hat as well. Still in like the breastplate, but also like a bishop hat, just very tall.
Just a strong, very popely hat that is now poking out the top of the breastplate, along with the tips of 2 goblin ears.
Yeah.
And he's got a little window he opens in the front of the breastplate where you can just look straight at the middle.
It's like a mail slot.
Yeah, it's one of those prison mail slots where he's like, they're not here yet, but I'll be ready.
But it like echoes with like,
Yeah.
not here.
If they go into the middle of the room, I can see, but if they stay on the side,
Because he can only see straight out from where he's looking, and he's not facing the door.
Okay,
So
I need to ask a follow-up question. Given this hat situation, can he only move on diagonals, or does he have full?
I mean, he prefers a diagonal.
Yeah, all right.
But if he goes far enough, then he can become a king.
Well, I'll cancel the show before we reach that point. All right. So you guys are in position, and Quinny, you've dimension doored back to the stables. Before we get there, Mrs. Paisley, you've asked people to paint the fireworks.
Yeah.
And now the fireworks display is kind of gone off. And can you roll me a? Yeah, let's take a sleight of hand with your usual double proficiency piece, just to see how the crowd is, how you're guiding the crowd through this.
It's a 19.
19? Yeah, all right. So I think telling them to draw the fireworks they imagined means that people are just drawing, like, generally not great because they're bad at painting, but like they're drawing stuff, like they're painting
That's
like
great.
good scenes. And what you start to notice, Mrs. Paisley, is that people are comparing their pictures, and like in a healthy way. There's a lot of like, I thought they looked like this. It's like, I really thought that lady was going to shoot a blue arrow. Then you just hear fuck from Seraphine in the background. And they're just all like, people are just doing a lot of like gentle comparisons and like laughing about it. And, you know, is generally fairly positive. Like Pitch is having a full compliment session with himself where he's like giving himself a lot of compliments. It's good. And you realize that against all odds, you have made paint night and a caw work.
Little tear springs to Mrs. Paisley's eye.
And Ryan, you can add 1 prosperity to our character track.
We did it.
And Mrs. Paisley,
This monarchy shit is easy.
what do you say to everyone to wrap up paint night?
Say, well, dears, thank you all for making this a wonderful evening. Stick around if you want. put extra details on, or just go home or go to the whatever bars you go to, or have fun with your friends and your loved ones.
And there's a lot of nodding, and Pitch just holds up his and says, "Can we keep these?"
Oh, yes, they're yours, dear.
Oh, we're used to the state taking everything, so this is nice.
It's like, if you want to donate one to display in the castle, we'd be pleased to have it, but this is yours. You made it.
Buttle's going to be so mad when he wakes up to a pile of paintings of the same thing on his doorstep. There's like general cheers and applause. And people start chanting, Paisley, 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 Paisley.
No, cheer for yourselves. Cheer for yourselves.
No.
Okay, Paisley,
And
Paisley.
they kind of like sweep you up, and you're kind of pulled along with the crowd as they kind of like usher you into the old campaigner, and are like, "We need drinks for Mrs. Paisley," and the ale starts flowing.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Quinny, you have dimension doored into a stable. I assume like near the stable.
Yeah, like around the corner from the stable, so I can just like walk into the open door.
Sure. So you walk in, and they're all, like putting on like little black beanie caps that they could roll down to be like balaclavas, like putting on black gloves. And Nobby Knee is just like just breathing real hard and be like, "I don't know, guys. I don't know if we should even be doing this. I mean, like, we got a pretty good thing going with the horses." And Possum just says, "Listen, Nobby Knee, we all know that you were a little hot and cold on this, but like, this is our chance. If Lord Geese really does become king, think of it. Also, one less warlock, right? Hey, look, come on in. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Benji.
I was gonna call you Billy and Barry. I didn't have Benji. Look, Benji, hey, come here. Look, some of the guys are getting cold feet about this.
What?
Yeah, they're not
Who?
sure they want to go through with it. Old Nobby Knee for sure. He's got cold knees.
I
about it.
slapped Nobby Knee.
Ow! Okay.
I said, Nobby Knee,
Yeah.
you all brought me into this. All right? I've never done anything like this before in my life.
Okay.
I didn't know if I could kill someone tonight. So I had to find out.
Oh my God! Did you already kill someone?
I've already killed someone, Nobby Knee.
Oh,
We're in
no.
too deep. You have to go through with this.
Oh!
You gotta get me out of the country tonight, Nobby Knee. We gotta do this.
Can you roll me a deception check?
Yeah.
One of the rare times where you have to roll deception for whether you murdered someone this night.
For those not watching, Ryan and I are losing our minds.
Yeah,
I
Laura and I
think
just
over
watching
the exact same thing.
textbook case of entrapment.
This is not.
This won't hold up. This won't hold up in court.
This is wrong. You can't incite someone to commit a crime.
And that's how Dum Dums became the shield. Yeah.
29.
Yep, he believes you. He goes, oh, shit. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll go kill that lady.
Yeah, good. And to
Kill-
address the commentary, because it was your idea in the first place, right?
And Possum just like puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Okay, so here's the plan, Benji. We really hoped that the Felthane would be inside the castle, but it seems like she's at one of the official residences. So we need you to show up, saying you're delivering an official message from the king. Can you do that? How good are you at lying? That seems like it's kind of outside your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'm not a very good liar. I don't think. I've never really had to. Look, I don't know if I can make her go somewhere, but I did find out where she is.
Yeah.
I can take you to her.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, and you can say, "Hey, I'm here from the king, and these are my compatriots," and then we'll do what we got to do. Who did you kill?
Oh, a friend I made. Well, I tried to make, and he just kept calling me a loser, and then I was useless, and so I don't know. Something came over me. You know, I went to him and said, "Hey, I made some new friends. You know, do you think maybe you would reconsider being my friend?" And well, he said no. He laughed in my face, and I had to know if I could do it, so I did it to him first.
And Possum is just kind of like,
Benji's fucked.
Yeah.
"Hey, Benji, I'm sorry we called you a loser before, but like we're your friends, and if you
Yeah.
do that to someone you said was a friend."
He wasn't, though.
Okay.
He called me a loser, and he laughed in my face, and he said, I'm not your friend.
Oh, okay. All right. But we're friends, right?
Yeah.
We're
right?
tooth buddies?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We're all in this, right?
Benji, I think you might need, and suddenly Possum's eyes go wide. And he just kind of, he tries to speak and like his mouth doesn't quite work. And he looks down and there's a blade sticking out of his chest. And just Diana has an arm around his neck and just twists the blade against his spine, and lowers him to the ground, pulls it out and says, seems like you're the one who's going to help us get this done.
Okay, who's with me and who's and just Diana?
And she just turns with the blade and flicks the blood off of it. And Nobby Knee and Billy the Shoe both nod and say, okay, yeah, we're with you. And just Diana turns back and says, okay, Benji, let's go kill a Felthane.
What do you want to do about him?
I just see more trash.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, follow me.
And she puts the blade in her. Well, I know she doesn't sheath the blade. She keeps it out. Just kind of looks at Billy the Shoe and Nobby Knee, and they both kind of look at her and start moving. And the now only four of you begin to make your way towards the Visayan embassy, leaving Possum's body to slowly cool behind you.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, Gus Schreider, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.